A natural retreat in the low country woods, Givhan's Ferry State Park sits at the end of the 23-mile Edisto River canoe and kayaking trail. Notably, this trail begins at Colleton State Park and has many places to stop along the way to Givhan's Ferry State Park. This Edisto River Trail is known as a kayaking and canoeing paradise. Like Colleton State Park, Givhan's Ferry State Park's focal point is the Edisto River. The Edisto River is the longest free-flowing Blackwater river in North America. However, if kayaking or canoeing is not your cup of tea, Edisto River Adventures is the only tubing company to offer a full-service tubing operation on the Edisto River.
Look, you've been here before. Now look, see the way the house is? You make the pictures match. All right. There you go. There you go. That's a good stamp. Good job. Oh, good job, Carl. You're so
By land, Givhan's Ferry State Park is located in Ridgeville, South Carolina, and is named for Philip Givhan, the area's ferry master in the late 1700s. His ferry was the point where you would cross the Edisto River, connecting Charleston to Augusta. It was called the Charleston to Augusta Pass, or sometimes the Charleston to Savannah Pass. We know very little about the girl buried in the graveyard here on the banks of the Edisto River. Most likely Mary E. Ford rests here because her grandfather, Philip Givhan, owned the plantation that once extended onto these lands. We know more about what she might have seen here if she had lived beyond infancy. She would have seen a 2-story plantation house now gone, enslaved men and women toiling in the surrounding fields and living in nearby dwellings. The many travelers crossing the river on her grandfather's ferry, and the dirt road flanked with trees that connected the plantation to the wider world. Interestingly, the original ferry site remains protected within the park's grounds. Givhan's Ferry State Park is one of the 16 South Carolina state parks built by the Civilian Conservation Corps. The CCC came about by Roosevelt's New Deal program to help young men that needed a job, food, and a place to sleep. Most men in the CCC were between the age of 18 to 25. However, one unique thing about Givhan's Ferry State Park is that it was built by the Veterans Division of the CCC, meaning the men who built this park were not only impoverished at this time, but still recovering from the atrocities that they saw during the trench warfare of World War I. Some of the buildings that you can see here that were built by the CCC include 4 rustic cabins and the River House, which is the welcome center and a small store. Notably, the River House offers a large back porch, which is ideal for checking out the Edisto River. Behind the River House, there is also a kayak launch and a sandy swimming area. However, it was October when we visited, so we just looked at the river from a distance. In fact, we actually planned this trip so we could attend the Edisto Blackwater Boogie Festival, which is an annual event that started in 2019. As a result, upon arrival, our boys got to tie-dye some shirts before we collected our festival armbands and went hiking.
What's your favorite color? Blue, one of them?
That's only blue. I
know.
The yellow was one of my favorite
Here,
colors.
look. That's the pretty blue color that's going to come out on your shirt. Now you've got green.
Look, I got pink.
Okay.
You did.
Is it cool?
It is
Super
so
cool.
cool. Now what we're
In
gonna
my
do-
opinion, one of the best ways to see the natural beauty of this 988-acre park, besides by river, is to hike. Givhan's Ferry State Park offers a 1.5-mile river bluff trail. Online, this trail is referred to as moderate in difficulty due to steep slopes.
Ooh, look at that tree.
What kind of tree do you think that is?
I don't know.
We should learn our trees. Don't you think?
I do know that. I do know all of the trees, but I don't know what some of the trees look like.
We should learn. We should start taking samples of leaves and make a book and write down what the trees are so that, one day we can say, oh, that's an oak tree. Or, oh, that's a pine tree.
You only know pine trees is sloppy. You only know that.
You already know what...
Pine trees have coconuts.
I don't know about that. This is a pine tree. Watch for the roots. Don't trip.
Carl, I need a big boy to pick up this stick and put it over there so nobody trips on it. Thank you, Carl. Yeah, thank you.
Just throw it.
Thank you.
Dad. Daddy, why you keep
Miller was asleep.
Yeah.
Carl was asleep. I'll get Millard out, and Millard said,
12, 14, 14, 14. Come on, let's sit down. Let's sit down and let me eat.
baby. And then 1, 2, 3. That's when it was Carl's age. And then 1, 2, 3 more. That's when it was Miller's age. And look at all the rings it's had since.
Let me see your leaf.
See?
Oh, that is a big leaf. Beautiful.
Camera. I mean, put your butt back.
Okay.
Put in the butt back.
Now look, I found the perfect...
On the trail, we crossed a canal and then turned and followed the bluff overlooking the Edisto River. While hiking, we made sure to look for wildlife and various plants, including the cypress trees, which were wading in the dark water along the shore. We then crossed a footbridge, after which the trail widened, and we passed through a wooded area that ended at an open field which, because of the music festival, was filled with 2 stages, people, food trucks, and vendors. If you're not into being around such a large crowd, on a normal day, many people visit to have a picnic at one of the many picnic tables or under one of the 2 picnic shelters. On less noisy days, you may also want to relax with a book on the back porch of the historic Riverfront Hall. Of course, like many of our other state parks, Givens Ferry State Park is a great place to look for wildlife, geocache, or take advantage of the free loaner fishing rod program and test your skills at reeling in one of the various fish found in the Edisto.
Long time ago, put decorations on it.
Those are cool. Those are real cool, Millard.
After spending some time checking out vendors, listening to music, and playing with our children in the various kids' areas, we decided to walk back towards our car and let the kids play at the playground before checking out the camping sites. As previously mentioned, Givens Ferry State Park does offer 4 cabins which were built by the CCC. These cabins are 2-bedroom cabins, and they are located on a bluff on the Edisto River. However, if camping is more your style, I'm happy to inform you Givens Ferry State Park has a wonderful campground. I can honestly say the tent sites here are truly the best I've seen. While I'm not sure if they all offer electricity and water, they are very unique in that they are surrounded by trees and they have soft, sandy ground. These 10 hike-in sites are very close to the main road and make a perfect place to hang a hammock too. As far as the 25 full-service campsites for RVs or tents, they are also nice, but the spots are semi-rocky, which is common in our state parks. Regardless, any site would make a perfect location for telling stories while roasting marshmallows around a campfire. While there wasn't much I didn't like about Givens Ferry State Park, there were a few things. First, if you come during the Edisto Blackwater Boogie Festival and you want to hike, make sure to get your armband first. Otherwise, you may have to hike 3 miles to the end of the trail and back. This is because the trail ends at the festival site, and without an armband, they will not let you in. Secondly, because of the festival, the state park asks that you don't bring any outside food or drinks, which is understandable if you're not hiking. I was very paranoid that at the end of our hiking trail, they would think we were trying to smuggle in food or drinks. I also didn't want to have to throw away our supplies, but luckily that didn't happen. In addition to that, while it made getting into the festival much easier, I did notice that no bags were actually being checked at the bagging area. This could have been dangerous because of the world that we live in, but luckily, as far as I know, nothing illegal was smuggled in other than pot. Finally, while not bad but kind of negative, I did notice that they only had 1 frisbee golf goal. Of course, I could have overlooked the others, but to me, that's strange to just have 1. Furthermore, online it states that Givens Ferry State Park is a great place to bike. And while it's flat enough, and I noticed a lot of people riding their bikes from their campsites to the festival, the state park doesn't really have biking trails like many of the other state parks do, so I'm not sure why they chose to list biking as a thing to do. On the other hand, as far as the positives, there was a lot that we really liked about Givens Ferry State Park. The main positive being one I've already mentioned, which were the tent sites. They are truly the best I have seen in the entire South Carolina state park system. Next, while not a big people person or music festival person, I really enjoyed hearing the different types of music and people watching when I could. I was also very surprised and impressed with how child-friendly the festival was. Finally, I really liked how clear and well-defined the trail was. I had visited Givens Ferry State Park previously with the kids about 2 summers ago, and the trail was very overgrown. So badly I didn't even hike it because I didn't think it was worth it. That being said, because the trail is so nice, there are a lot of trees that have graffiti or have been carved on. So, will we go back to Givens Ferry State Park? Yes, we will try to definitely go back, especially to camp. We would also like to go back when the kids are old enough to really enjoy this music festival and old enough so that we can kayak on some of the Edisto. I hope that you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching.